The follow-up video to my last unboxing of the Exia and Exia Trans Am mode. This is the, I believe it's called a beginner grade rx-78-2, and just kind of jumping like straight into it quick as I can. So it looks like this is all okay. So here you get like your build-up instructions and how to do everything, which I greatly appreciate because I've only built small end Warhammer figures here and there, and that was hard enough for me because I am a absolute noodle. So when it comes down to this, I'm actually going to be just, come out of there. Just going through, building it up, following along with the directions, and just kind of take it from there, and just not really do it like quick, but do it like effectively, or effective as I can, because again, I am not the brightest when it comes to building these up. So firstly, get these all open and popped out. And now, I'm not entirely certain if these sprues actually require clippers, however, I do have some, and of course people are going to lose their minds because I know how the model building community gets it. You're using Craftsman such and such cheapo fucking clippers, blah blah blah, you're gonna leave guff all over your sprues. Probably. But that's okay for me. Because I used to have a modeling knife, and now I don't know where it went, and it irritates quite a bit of me because it wasn't cheap. I bought like an official Warhammer modeling knife because I wasn't even thinking about it, and in reality all that I really needed to do was like just go buy a fucking a small modeling knife from buy a small modeling knife from like Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever, and it would do entirely fine. Which, I can't rightly say I know how the community's going to react or anything like that, but I know I have a close friend, well, close-ish, close enough friend of mine his dad builds stuff, and sometimes when he's done with a build, he'll post it online, and he's actually quit in recent time because people will get up in arms when he's like, yeah, I only use, this... I use like these cheapo clippers, and I'm managing to build all these like high grade looking models in like really good detail with like really cheap equipment, so it's kind of nice. And people have actually, it's bad, and it makes me feel really sad for him because like from how I remember the story going entirely, they like bullied him off the message boards, and I was just like, Jesus, for like just using cheapo tools and getting the job done. Oh, oops, give me just 1 second. Alrighty, excellent. Dropped a small bit like that. That ain't good. So are these hands? Well, one of them is. So one thing that I kind of do that is probably a large detriment to me is I will clip all of my bits and bobs and all that, and I will I'll just kind of lay them out before me, and I know that's not the best thing to do, especially looking at this now. I'm probably going to regret life, but I think I can get it done. especially being that I'm seeing some matching points here on the instructions, and I think it's going to correlate pretty well and easily for me. And pop that. And that is one thing that I'm kind of noticing about this is that it is, like, since it is built as a beginner model kit, your pins and your actual sprue connections, all of that sort of are they're really thick, and they're also easy to clip and pop off. So if you pop one of them, it feels like the rest are sort of like hankering to follow, which makes it kind of nice because these are cheapo pliers, I'll give you that. They're a little bit on the thick side for as small as they are and all that song and dance, but these ones here, they're clipping off, and it's coming, they're not exactly the smoothest, but they're coming off smooth enough. Oops. Oh no, it came out fine. Okay. So, clip like that. Clip there. One thing that I've always been terrified of since I got into, goodness gracious, since I got into Warhammer and kind of building up models with those, is I've always been terrified of popping a sprue and having it just completely break. And that it, for me, has been like my, hey, don't break that, that's expensive. Because I've heard some of the funniest stories about people straight up remortgaging their house to pay for more Warhammer shit, and that to me is just flippin' wild. So let's see here if my silly haha dumb self can figure this out. Because I'm already seeing where I have definitely screwed up. Oh yeah, I have screwed up holistically. I better not cut anymore. Oops. Let's see. A1. So I need A1, which is not that. Is it this? Yes, it is. It is. This small piece here sits onto a 216. A216 is that tiny itty bitty bit right here. Yep. So unlike Warhammer, where I've read up on some of the stuff and I can look into it and just be like, okay, yeah, I can clip this piece here, and I can just I can put this Akazaka or this whatever on whichever orc that I want to put it on, because I run orcs. Orcs to me are fun. These here, I don't know. I don't know them nearly as well. Alright, so that is the entirety. Oh, nope. No, it's not. Oops. That is the entirety of the A sprue sheet. Clipped, popped, and removed. So, up next is that's A. B. Here we go. So I need B1. Okay, so it's not on that sheet. B2, B1. So I need the B1 3. And now this, if I'm looking at it right, my goodness, these are itty bitty. Definitely, it'll kind of help me with the eyesight too, because though I'm young, it's kind of nice to look at things and still see that my eyes are still working well enough. Alrighty, let's see. So up next is B11, which is the outer casing for the actual helmet itself. Now I'm kind of starting to see like some spots where my clippers have missed, and thankfully, since this is a goodness, don't drop the head now. Since this is a easier, like your intro level, like learn how to build them and just kind of have fun doing it. I'm seeing a lot of easier. Here we go. Sorry, I'm also looking at this while I'm trying to talk. I'm seeing a lot of like easier points to catch on to and see like, okay, this is how this goes in, and thankfully it's nicer to clip off. Oh, that's what I was saying. It's since this is a beginner level model kit, like learn how to do it and yada yada yada. The plastic it's good plastic, don't get me wrong. However, it's also your sprue pieces are soft and they're a little bit on the extra brittle side. So when you do pop them off, it's easier that way you can just kind of pick off like your extra little sprue bits just by hand. You don't so much need the modeling knife. However, in my case, I'm unfortunately a bit of a perfectionist, and so it kind of bugs me that I don't have my modeling knife, because I'd like to get them clipped and cleaned up a little bit better than what I'm unfortunately having to do. All right, so this is the entire head built, which is step 1 here in the instructions. You can't see them, I don't think, because right now how I have my phone set up. That's step 1 is building up the head. Your little there. Up next is for the body, and for that to start, I need A12, and then I need A2, 6, A3. That is not A2. What? I'm just dumb. Alrighty, so let's see here. So this sits, okay, and this sits in just like that. Does that sit any more flush? Yes, it does. It's just like that. Snaps into place. This is actually a really good looking model, at least in my opinion, because I know there's people out there who just cannot stand that it's just like a beginner grade, simple to build, easy to get behind model. I know there are people out there that are like that. However, once again, if you're here, if you found this channel, hopefully you're watching this just to kind of enjoy me look at stuff I wasn't really able to get into as a kid, and just kind of enjoy working my way around it. Alright, so that's A217. Oh, okay, so it still continues on down here. So this, now you... Oh, here we go. A18 will sit in here. And this, let's see, how many segments of the core fighter were there? There was like the 1, 2. Okay, so this last red bit here will actually be, it's the lower portion of the core fighter that sits in on the center portion of the rx-78-2 to make up Amuro's his pilot seat and the body of the Gundam. So that it's a little bit tight. It's the other one has a little bit more free range of motion to it, so I'm kind of wondering if I don't have it seated all the way in. No, I guess it is. It's just a little bit tight. Okay. So now, that's the body to it. Or, well enough the body to it. So this here, I've missed a step. Oops. My goodness, keep dropping things. It's about the 16-minute mark. Not bad. Could be doing better, but could be doing worse as well. Just here to have fun. Alrighty. See, so next step here is to, now that I've got the majority of the actual body built, you take these little sprue pieces here, and these are going to make up your arm joints. And then up next, it is the beam sabers. Oh, and this is really cool. So I kind of had a hunch, but I also didn't know for certain if the beam sabers were actually going to be, they were actually to come with that. See if my phone will actually let it focus. But that small hole there is to actually make it work with these real quick. Ooh, and these are they're a different type of material. They're like a real soft, kind of like a almost gentle plastic. So these, come on now. There we go. There's one. Because I definitely, when I set this up on my stand, I definitely want to have a little bit more modeling ability with it, because it'll fit in well with the other ones that I have unboxed and have set up on that stand. So that can be set off to the side, and now I need to find the next beam saber handle right over here. So the beam saber handles actually sit right underneath the I want to say it's like an actuator plate. Or it wouldn't be an actuator plate. It's an extra shielding guard plate to sit over the actuation, over the actuator of the leg. Okay, so that just sits in there like that. Which I'm gonna be putting it in his left hand. So for my own OCD sake, I am going to make certain that I set this up correctly the first time. And I've almost gotten through that first sheet of sprues, the A1 and A2. So hopefully it doesn't kick me in the pants too bad. Oh, goodness gracious. A little bit on the sleepy side. I just woke up. Had a bit of a late night last night. Hanging out with some of my friends. Playing some games, watched a couple of movies with the wife. B. So I need the B1 and... Is this all B1? Nope, this one here is B1 and B2. So I need B18, B28, B18. There's that. Come on now. B28. Am I doing something wrong here? Yes, I am. Okay, I see what I did wrong now. So B18 and B28 and B19 and B29 are both outer casing for the arm, and in doing what I did, I took off the more slender portion of the arm. And okay, so these are okay to just clip in and seat right away. And then this one will sit. There's a little bit of space to it, and that's okay because I think that's kind of what they're wanting. Alrighty, and now I take B14, and I don't think that it's going to give me any extra, like, yeah, it just goes over like, hey, here's how you do one arm, second verse, same as the first. And you just kind of go from there. Ah, goodness. Jumping away from me. So now, oh, I see how it goes. So this one here will seat right in here to help to brace that joint on that, which is why it has a little bit of space there in the middle, and it has some space on either side. So this piece here is actually it sets it up so that way it holds it into place. And so that will go on like that, and we have the majority of one arm built. So now B17. What is B17? Weird. So B17 and B27 are the same. Which I guess I shouldn't be saying weird. It's to be expected after what I just did with B18 and B19 and B28 and B29. 100% to be expected. But even yet, still kind of catches me off guard just a tiny bit. And now this here will sit on the arm. So I'm actually going to take and put the correct hand in the correct arm, firstly. And since this is the right hand, and you can tell that it is a right hand. You can orientate it to be left or right or however you want. However, the best way to tell is you can tell just by the way that your socket slides in. Of course, this is a beginner model, so I'm treating this like you've got some knowledge about it, but also making certain to do some smaller explanations for maybe if anybody stumbled across this and they don't know everything about this, or they're new into it. I don't want to disparage anybody from it. I do swear an awful lot, however, that is unfortunately a habit that I am not going to be able to give up for a long while yet. Of course I could, however, it would certainly limit me at work due to the amount of caliber of people that I get to work with. It kind of requires you to do a little bit of it at minimum. And it kind of teeters on falling into home life is where it'll happen a little bit. Oh, I see what I did here. I just put the hand on backward. So now I can take that, drop that, put, oh goodness, don't take off the armor plating now. Oh, please sit. Goodness gracious. Oh no! I messed up here just a little bit. So this actually has to seat, and I just need to quit being weak. There we go. So now, onto the body. And then I can take this arm, come on now, this arm, here we go. This actual arm, this pauldron. Take that, and now, what? Oh, you take this, when did it say that? Oh, I missed a step, 2-3 steps back about installing the head. Alright, so that sits on now. So with this neck, that's a little... I'm going to actually take his head off and orientate the neck. Kind of how it shows in the instructions. Because it is very, very wobbly. However, it still is, it's stationary enough that it's not too bad, but it's just something to take note of. Alright, so there is the upper torso of it. And one thing here too is that it does give you a pretty decent variety of different armament that the original model Gundam used in the series. It's showing the beam rifle. Oh, here it is. It's off on the A3 and 4 sprue sheet. So now on to leg. Where does it want me to start? Oh, excuse me. It wants me to start on A219, so I need A13, which seats in like this. Okay, so that seats like that. And then I need B212. It's probably going to be a little bit longer one of the videos that I've done in comparison to some of my other unboxings. I know there was the one video that I had like three separate unboxings all in the one video. This one here I think might actually take the cake even on that. Just, there we go, it's seated improper. It takes me a little bit longer to build the kits, keep talking, and all of the fun song and dance that I like to try and keep going at least, because I know sometimes I might just wind out accidentally zoning out or completely forgetting what I'm saying and drop into a ramble. So that'll seat like that. It's got a little bit more rotation to it. And then this. Seat, pop like that. Seat and pop Okay. Whack. Alrighty. So that is not everything. B111. B111. Here we go. And now this seats here, please. Come on now, you're right there. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. So that's how that will seat. And then up next come the legs. All right, cool. So I am just simply going to start with presumably the left leg, right leg. Ah, goodness. Oops. Holy shnikes, that really, oof, that got me. I wasn't expecting that to just completely pop in half like that. So, nope, I done did it again. Oh well, it wants me to start with the actual feet anyway, so I need to take the base plate for the feet, and these here actually have quite a bit of good detail on the bottoms of them that I wasn't expecting, especially since more often than not the bottoms of the feet actually have it's just not common that you're going to really see the bottoms of the feet, at least in my opinion, from what I know of how people stow their models and how they build them up. A lot of the time, even if you put them onto a action sheet or not an action sheet, a action platform, it won't. You're just not really apt to see them, and so it kind of surprised me to see that it has your the traction plates, the boosters. It's a lot of really good detail that I'm happily surprised by, just because that was not something I was entirely expecting to see. Alrighty. Here goes on the next foot. That one seemed a lot easier than the other one. The other one was actually giving me just the tiniest bit of trouble because I didn't want to accidentally damage it, because this is where pieces are still extra thin. There we go. Flip. And so that is a A324. A324. So it's this piece here. Oh, goodness. That is to somehow. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, I see now. So this sits in here, which then this piece sockets into. Yeah. And then up next is the actual leg itself, which I actually, once I clip out this little bit here, I'm going to stop doing that and then return back to the completion of the feet, just because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself and wind out accidentally dropping a piece, losing a piece, any of the negative things that can kind of happen while building up a model, especially with this one here, because I didn't start really getting into the Gundam Universe action figure models that I've been unboxing. I didn't get into them until about series 2? Series 2 or 3, I believe. And as such, trying to find a series 1 rx-78-2 it's just a dumpster fire. I've tried and tried. I cannot find one to save my life. But that's why I have this, to kind of help supplement it, because while this one being an actual model looks like it has a little bit better in-depth quality to it, it's just not quite the same. But I greatly appreciate that it was there, and maybe down the line I might actually wind up picking up more of these quote-unquote beginner-esque models and just kind of going from there. And maybe down the line, I know I still have to build up an orc army for Warhammer. I got a hold of a limited edition set that came with the new generation of rules for like 2021, 2022, give or take. And as such, I've been lazy and haven't built it. So I need to get on that. So maybe if this video gets enough positive reception, I'll wind up taking my garage back over for a little bit of time. Oops. And just do a little piece by piece, build up, say, 2 or 3 figures at a time, and take it slow and get it clean, and just build them up and make a small series out of that. Of course, as an orc player, I know that 9 times out of the 10, orcs wind out with getting completely destroyed. I don't play big 40k just because I barely have enough money for this. So I absolutely, as much as I would love to get completely destroyed by somebody who knows what they're doing in big 40k, I don't have the time or the money really to jump in and just get completely demolished by some fucking guy at a comic store. He's like, I use this Tyranid hive to pop spores, and your entire fucking army is dead. Have fun with that, nerd. And just fucking destroy my entire team. Am I doing this right? Yes. Yes, I am. Please, seat. My goodness, please. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to take this piece off because I think it's giving me resistance. And now let's see. So this flared up portion, seats like that. Oop, goodness. And I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I'll kind of just go into a small detailed bit of it. When I go through and edit my videos, I do kind of help crop out my face a little bit and just keep everything hidden, because I do record in the awfully glorious cell phone ratio that everyone hates from the Tic Tacs. And yeah, I'm not really comfortable showing my face. However, I am 100% okay and comfortable with just kind of having fun going over and looking at some action figures and some models and some kits that I was heavily disparaged from getting into and looking at as a kid, and then, well, now I'm an adult. I have adult money. That's why I don't really talk to a whole lot of people about it, and I appreciate the people who stop by and watch, just because it's nice to have people looking at it who are interested like I am, and yeah, it just makes it kind of nice. That being said, if I ever do accidentally show my face, it's not like it's a big deal. I'm not gonna throw away in like an hour's worth of footage or anything like that. But it's just something to kind of keep me occupied and have some fun with while I do it. So now the other leg. And also, as I was looking at this, I discovered that I was being kind of dumb, and I didn't have to take off that plate because I put it on. I was attempting at putting the leg on just completely backwards. See? There it goes. Now it just pops in right like that. Hey, okay. Alrighty, there's that. And now I need A322 and A422. Oh, right. This is going to call for that's 23. So 23 actually goes on the back of the knee and helps further support A22. So this one here sits with it forward like that. That feels floppy. But it's going to firm up as soon as I put on the back of the knee piece here. So I don't know if you can completely see it, but it has complete attachments in there to help brace it. And it just slides on, connects, and gives this some good joint rotation. So now, on to the next leg. That seats like that. Ooh, jumped the gun. Alrighty. There we go. Huh. Seated right. Okay. So now I have two legs, and I do appreciate how they made the original design from UC 079, 0079 I should say, not 079, is when they did it. Ooh, excuse me. They made the legs like the exact same. There's left and right, of course, but there's not like this foot is a left foot, this foot is a right foot. There is universal stabilizers, and it makes building up models and whatnot like this super duper easy, because if you look at, say, like a Warhammer army, and you want to build like a orc, you want to build some knobs, or you want to build some boys, and you have spare parts, because 9 times out of the 10 a kit will come with spare parts, and it's because they want to give you the freedom, they want to give you the choice to build an army how you want to build it. And so normally speaking, you'll have those spare parts Oh, that was a voice crack from hell. You'll have those spare parts, so that way there you can you can do that. You can build it how you want. However, if you get a couple boxes of knobs, you get a couple boxes of boys, and you're like, I got enough parts, I can build an entire another model. Unfortunately, due to how they are, of course they're not going to be able to do universal arms, but like with the legs, unfortunately, because they don't do universal legs either, you can wind out with a lower body that doesn't mesh with the correct body, because they just, while they want you to build it your way, they give you specific pieces for specific boys, so that way you can't wiggle out and buy spare. You can't buy a set amount of boxes and get a free unit out of it, which is, as much money as you're spending on Warhammer, it is to me, a grotesquely uncustomer friendly service. And as bad as it's gonna sound, and I might get some flack in the comments if anybody makes it this far, I 100% support the people who 3D print their stuff. Like, some of the stuff is dumb. Like, I'm just gonna come out and say it. The My Little Pony Death Guard or whatever, that's fucking dumb. But to each your own. Have your fun. Have it your way. There we go. There's the 78-2 completely built up. So now all that's really left is, I wanted him to have one beam saber, and I want to go with the classic beam saber and beam rifle combination, which, while it's kind of become like classic and iconic, it is so seldom to actually see Amuro use both the beam saber and the beam rifle, due to the fact, just from how much strain it puts on the generator. So I think now I'm still going through the original series. I'm watching through from the beginning. I'm just now at the part where Kai leaves, which Kai's a character in himself. For it being as old as it is really well written for me to strongly dislike Kai. So they did a very good job, and I'm surprised at how well that old writing style holds up even to this day. However, I 100% am appreciative of it, because it makes going through and watching it now not a complete dry firing slog of just null void, just devoid of any joy and entertainment. It makes it really fun. Whew, goodness. Sleepy. So I actually kind of want the arm to be a bit on the outward, just like that. So I am going to build up the shield real quick, just to kind of go over and show the other bits and bobs that they gave on the sprue sheet. So we have this here. That seats in. Now this is going to probably sound bad, and it might set off a couple of people, if anybody's actually made it this far, and this is quite a bit longer of a video than what I normally will post. However, these early Earth Federation and Xeon markers, I have struggled really hard to discern which is which. And I feel bad because people are probably like, you can't just not figure out which is which. That just doesn't work. And meanwhile, I'm just here like, oh, flag go brr. And it's something that's kind of caught me off guard more than not, just because they aren't something made to like confuse sides, quite the opposite. And here I am just like, who the fuck is fighting who? And I kind of feel dumb for that, but at the same time I'm just like, I don't know, man. I was watching an episode it was the episode where Amuro had a interview with General Revel, and where he was a traitor, and I was like, why the fuck is Amuro with all these goddamn Xeon troops? And then I got to looking at him, I was like, wait a minute. Oh, those are whoops, those are Earth Federation. My bad. And come to find out, he was a fucking Xeon spy, and I was just like, what? Well, goddamn it, my earlier assumption was fucking right. Except these other ones are still loyal to the Earth Federation, so I wasn't right. But I'll just keep that on the quiet because I want to sound like I was right. Alright, so now, is that actually Flexi? Oh, I see how it goes. So it has, on this sprue sheet here, it has the mace whip that he's currently using in the episode that I'm watching, and that energy lance. So this here, how do I set up the beam bazooka? Doodly-doodly-doo. I genuinely don't want to mess this up because I think that this actually has, there's a specific spot for this, and I am currently struggling to find it really bad. It is C14, C13. So it seats. Oh, that's why. Look at it. I'm fucking trying to attach it to the wrong piece altogether. So that sits like that. And then this seats. Come on now. Right like that. Alrighty, and there's the position. I was kind of always wondering in the series, because they always show it at multiple angles, and sometimes the angles just straight up didn't make sense. So I like how they did this to kind of like, hey, this is how they did it. Stop asking questions. Uh-oh. Ah! Okay, so that one's, I like that. That's a really good looking piece. As you can see here, there's still kind of like my small little sprue bits from not clipping them off or not using the wire. And for me, I know that's not the greatest, but it's just fine for me. And now, with what I did say earlier, the more and more that I've been just kind of thinking and mulling it over in my head, I I don't think any of the other models should have your one side is the left side, or one arm is the left arm, and have those kind of specifics. I think they should kind of be universal on the main buildup. It just all kind of falls into whichever hand choice that you pick. At least I certainly would imagine so. It'd be kind of a pain in the ass to get through like 45% of a model and then look at the leg and be like, well, fuck, I guess I get to restart now. Or not completely restart, of course, but just like have to go through and do a bunch of BS to actually put it together. Okay, so this does sit in like this. Come on. There we go. So one thing that I kind of wish that they would have done for this, at least, because in the original just Mobile Suit Gundam, this is white, and then this here is it's an actual energy bit. So this was not a traditional mace, it was a energy class weapon. And so far, this is my only nitpick here, is just that this not being on one of the B sprue sheets where it has the white, and this not being separate on your SB sheet that has your beam weapons. That's so far my only complaint. That being the only complaint, I'm just like, yeah, I get over that. That don't bother me at all. So up next here is the actual flanged. I've heard it pronounced both ways my entire life. Correct me down in the comments. I can't wait to see if you've made it this far. Alright. But this mace piece here should be this is the last piece on the sprue sheet. I just kind of got to be careful because I don't want to accidentally pop off any of the goodness gracious, my mind is just blanking all over the place today. I don't want to accidentally drop any of these and have just a standard ball mace having one spike on either side. But I also kind of want to make it go a little bit quicker just because I'm over time where I'd like to be at. I thought this was going to be a lot quicker. So far, I haven't quite breached the hour mark yet. However, I'm getting close. I thought I felt one fall. So, what? Oh! Okay. I was trying to figure out what this piece was. So I've been watching the just Mobile Suit Gundam on Crunchyroll, and it has good enough quality, but I didn't see that this anchor looking deal was on the bottom of it. So it kind of had me a little bit confused as to what the fuck I was supposed to be doing. However, now it just comes down to kind of slim, nitty-gritty, just popping spikes into holes. And this should just about wrap it up. Alrighty. So, all together, you don't get any spare guff, no extra bits, no bobs, no nothing like that. It's a really nice, clean, simple, cut, dry build-up. You get your hyper bazooka, you get your mace, you get what's supposed to be a energy spear. I believe it was a spear. I don't want to say it was a mace. Your beam rifle, 2 beam swords, the backpack, the model, the shield. Goodness. Both the arms actually have sockets for the shield to go in on either side. And yeah, all together for, I want to say this was just over like 20 bucks, if that, at Target. Just for a quick, simple beginners gunpla, yeah, I believe they're called gunpla. I don't know why they are, but they are. I just said that so confident after not even knowing. Yeah, real simple, nice, easy to build up, and yeah, it's, for being as cheap as it is, it's got really good detail and quality to it. So I'm really happy with this beginner level model, and it's going to be a good one to add into my collection and really help me out getting a hold of the